Bismillah, alhamdulillah, salatu salamu rasulullah, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm Catherine Jones, emotional and spiritual resilience mentor, educator, and coach. And today I'm talking about behavior management being oppression of children. The topic in this video is about projecting our feelings and our thoughts onto our children, whether we're parents or teachers, onto the children that we are in charge of. So have you ever felt, stressed, frustrated, upset with children's behavior, and you've ended up saying to them, "Oh, you drive me mad," or "You drive me crazy," or "You make me so angry when you do that," all this kind of language, to that effect? I know we all fall into that sometimes, even after everything I'm teaching you here and everything I know. It will sometimes slip out of my mouth too. We are humans. I've learned that, in fact, this is actually quite harmful, because what we are doing is we're teaching children that they're responsible for our feelings, and it's simply not true. We are experiencing everything, and our feelings are coming from our thinking in the moment, from our thought in the moment, not from the children's behavior. And if we make children responsible for our emotions and having to behave in a particular way for us to be happy, we are causing them a great deal of harm. Actually, research tells us that children that have grown up in this type of environment end up finding it very hard to navigate and have good relationships as adults, because they simply actually don't know how relationships work. They feel like they're responsible for other people's feelings. And because it isn't true that our feelings come from another person's behavior, we're setting them up for failure. Because some days we're going to be tired and grumpy and unhappy, and they're going to do everything they can to please us, and it's not going to work, and they're going to feel like a failure. And if that happens enough, they will take into adulthood that they're not good enough, that they have to be a people pleaser in order to be able to be okay, because they need to please the people around them in order for them to be okay. It's just simply not true, and it is so harmful and detrimental to the well-being of children and the adults that they become. Now, there was a time when I was very much stuck in this thinking. My children, my older children, unfortunately suffered a lot of abuse when they were young. And as my boys reached their teen years, we had a lot of very aggressive behavior. And when I saw that aggressive behavior, my thinking would pop into my head, they're turning out like their father. And so then I would be projecting that thinking onto them like they've already turned into their dad. And I would be now trying to manage their behavior and being critical of them and hard on them and harsh on them based on like they've already turned out like him. Because I was projecting my thoughts and feelings onto them instead of seeing them for who they are and what they needed. The reality was they were hurt kids that had big feelings coming up, and what they needed at the moment was their mum to be the strong one for them and help them come back on track. Because when it feels like that and that desperation as a kid, even as adults, we find it very challenging, but it's very scary when you feel like your emotions are out of control. So when I came to understand it, I was better able to show up for my boys. And there was a time when, we were out in our front yard and they were literally wanting to kill each other. They were so angry. Not really with each other. It was kind of like they would take it out on each other. One would take it out on the other, and then there was this domino effect. And in this moment, when I've got two boys at this stage, 6'4", 6'5", heaps taller than me, and I'm standing between them, and they're heaps stronger than me, and they're trying to kill each other, through me, over the top of me, around me. And I'm standing calmly between them with one hand on each chest, looking at one and going, "No, you're not going to hurt your brother." Looking at the other one going, "How about you go for a walk and cool down?" I was able to actually defuse the situation because I didn't get caught up in it myself. And that's what they needed. They needed me to be their rock while they're having these extreme feelings they couldn't manage. Remember, their prefrontal cortex isn't fully developed. Their impulse control is not fully developed. And so they need us as adults to be there for them, to be that solid rock there that is going to help put the brakes on for them when they can't do it for themselves. And that was what I was able to do. And we haven't had a single incident since then, subhanAllah. So it's very, very powerful when you get this. So that's why I run a whole lot of talks and workshops and programs for teachers and parents to help them understand that behavior is the symptom, understand what's going on with children, so that we can show up as adults understanding our own behavior and our own feelings in the best way possible for kids, so that we're not oppressing children by not understanding what's going on and by incorrectly and innocently oppressing children in our manner of trying to manage their behavior. So I hope you found this valuable. Jazakallah khair for watching. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.